And welcome back to the Headspace Podcast, episode 136. I am Chris Chrome, and this is part 2. I am still reviewing the album The Iliad is Dead and the Odyssey is Over by Murs, Ninth Wonder, and Soul Council. Like I said, this is part 2. You can catch part 1 either somewhere in the link if Holden posts it. If not, it'll be in the link description below. But you can definitely go check that out and see the first 5 tracks of the album. At the end of that one, I did say there was 6 tracks left. There's actually 7. I made a mistake. Sorry, guys. But 7 more tracks of greatness, so it's going to be fun. Just to give a little bit of context briefly, just to, if you guys are clicking directly onto this one, because it's some of the songs you might like or whatnot, this is the Headspace Podcast where I go through albums week by week. We get new albums out every Friday, and we go through the album, express how we feel, what the message is, break down the lyrics, and kind of just give our own opinions on it. We're not experts at this, so please, if you have been following Murs for a very long time, take it in consideration. I've only really reviewed one album of his, which was the last one. So I may not know everything that I am talking about, but I try my best. I am interested in hip-hop and in the culture. I also make music. We hear it behind that suit. Holden makes music. Bonnie, your lady friend Bonnie, reviews some other, does lyrical breakdowns on another show. So, we are just trying to grow and really just understand the artist, the culture, the music, and just everything about it. So if there's anything I do mess up on these next 7 tracks, please let me know in the comments below. We'll definitely have a chit chat, and I could definitely learn. We really do appreciate all of the feedback and all the education that you guys give us. So I'm not going to spend too much time on that. Thank you for our Patreons: Lindell Williams, DJ Black Hurricane, Chris Prado, Ismail Gadamsi, Jonathan Barnes, and Coney Sparks. They help us so much. They are subscribed to our Patreon. They help us by getting us a new camera and just supporting us with what we do. Thank you so much. I will get back to that at the end of the episode, but like I said, this is part 2. I hope you watched part 1. Maybe you already been watching for an hour. So let's just jump right into it. So for track 6 on this album, it is High Noon, featuring Rapsody and Reuben Vincent.
High noon on these niggas. It's like I might as well be from the moon on these.
So this was a pretty cool track. I really enjoyed how Murs and Rapsody flow together. They're really great. The contrast between her voice, she has like a higher pitched voice, and Murs' lower voice is really nice. I think it was just super nice to listen to. I'm using the word so much, I'm sorry. But overall, this song just really felt like bars and really just kind of proving why these are like the greatest MCs, which they did super well, and they really did prove it. The way they flow in together, he says one line, she says one line on the first, this is happening on the first verse. They're just having fun with it, and they're really just the energy between them really just kind of brings it to life. So that was something super cool. So verse 1, like I said, they're doing it together. So it goes, 2 of the best MCs standing, cold branding, these all-star checks I'm spending, I'm Diddy dancing without the shiny suits, though your new favorite duo had a Gucci on the floor, I left the Versace for Reno, and who knows, the next time you'll see some connect rhymes. Some people connect rhymes. And I like how he says that because, I'm doing a really horrible job of it, and I apologize, but go listen to the song and you'll understand. When he says, who knows, the next time you'll see people connect, homies connect rhymes, he's literally acknowledging the fact that they're going one line. He says one line, she says one line, he says one line, she says one line, which I thought was really cool. And that really sparks that energy between them in the first verse. So that was really something nice. You'll have to birth the second time coming, like Ninth Wonder on the bass line, turn to shoot, no seconds left, don't have to look, it's wet. He's just kind of playing with the syllables, and he's really giving us that energy, but there isn't really much here so far that is like in depth, like, oh my god, this is a story, it's a big whole message. It really, like, overall, this song is really just like bars. It's just like, just, we're the best and this is why we're the best. But it's nice to listen to, and it's super just fun in a way. So I like how in the first verse, I like some lines like, I rhyme with no reconnaissance. The flow is a stream of consciousness from content to content. Combine vowels with consonants. I can't speak today. We crush in competition that be claiming they can conquer this. Yeah, I'm doing. They can conquer this. Yeah. So that is all Murs who does that. So the consciousness from content to content, combining vowels with consonants, we crushing competition, be claiming that they can't conquer this. Like, that was so dope, the way he flowed out and the way he just connected it all. It was like not your choppy flow, but it was a choppy flow, just not fast. It was weird, but interesting. I liked it. It was good. And then Rapsody comes in and goes, yeah, I'm doing it more like sets like Anna's de Mama, like Alanis. I'm doing it more sets like Alanis more sets. That's funny. Mama said if you don't use nothing else, use your common sense. It lasts longer if you talking on some honest shit. That's the kind of flow that's gonna make you more than iconic, bitch. Boom. Like, that is super dope. I like the realism. I like how Rapsody's bringing us this information of like, yo, just speak some true shit and people will respect you. If you try to act differently, you ain't really gonna get the level of recognition you want. And is that what you're looking for, right? So that was something that was super dope. I really did enjoy that. Now, verse 2, you get kind of more of like the same thing, but I do want to, before I get into verse 2, and I apologize for being a little bit jumpy, I'm a little bit hyper. The chorus was nice. Reuben Vincent did a really great job on the chorus. Voice was nice, slowed it down, it contrasted nicely and meshed well nicely with the feel of the verses, and the verses were kind of like bippity boppity, just kind of like in it, and then the chorus comes in, it's a little bit slower, but it kind of felt like a generic chorus. The sunshine and I'm getting to the paper, I'm on the grind and I'm trying to get my cake up. All day I'm feeling gangster. All day I'm feeling gangster. I wake up and I gotta thank my maker. I got a shot, I'd rather take the layup. All day I'm feeling gangster. All day I'm feeling gangster. Like, it's very simple, very straight to the point, but I think that plays a certain role in the song. I think that it does give this sense of like easiness to digest for the song, because their bars are pretty hard though. So moving on to verse 2. Yeah, high noon on these homies. It's like I might as well be from the moon on these homies. It's in a whole different world, like shrooms on these homies. No mask, but I'm gassing like Doom on these homies. I like the Doom shout out. That was super dope. No mask, but I'm gassing like Doom on these homies. Boom. That was super cool. I like how he's like making the references to taking shrooms and being in a whole different world. Mind altering drugs, psychedelics. That was super awesome. Now all the white kids can sing along, but don't forget the privilege and the baggage that you bring along. Yeah, and I didn't notice that at first until I reread it. But that's interesting. The fact of like how he's acknowledging that white kids are singing along to this music, singing along to whatever they're representing, their message or whatnot. But they, like according to what I understand, the white kids are also bringing baggage. Apparently, I'm bringing our own baggage and our own privilege to, I guess, the culture or the state of the music that's being made. So that was something that was interesting that kind of popped out, and I had to think about that a little bit. So I want to share it with you guys. Let me know, what do you think that line means? I'll just say it again. Now all the white kids can sing along, but don't forget the privilege and the baggage that you bring along. Yeah. just let me know what you think in the comments. I really am a little stumped on that line, but I think that's kind of what it means. But it was dope, and it's just a lot of that type of like consistency flowing through it. Verse 3, Rapsody does a really great job, but still kind of, I feel like she does a great job, but matches up to Murs, and it wasn't like outstanding, or there wasn't anything that topped anything. It was just, I'm a good MC. This is what we do. Look at me, right? So she goes, yeah, I feel like Big Meech. Birdman hands look like big cheese. Put them on the sneakers for some field cleats. Put up them sneakers for some field cleats. I've been trying to run the game with 16. No bad boy, but Diddy got a big team. How my jeans 5, but still ride with big wings. That was dope. I like how she's connecting all of her bars. So yeah, I feel like Big Meech. Birdman hands look like big G's. That was dope. The iconic Birdman hands when he's getting money. It's like, it's interesting to see how we can associate certain actions with different symbolisms in a way, which is cool. You know, she follows through with rap, and this was something that popped out. Rap went commercial while y'all living on commercial dreams. 30 seconds or less while my life on a big screen. So I like how she's acknowledging that rap is changing. The idea of rap or hip hop, or you know, from what it started is no longer what it is now, and it seems to be that if you're following that type of like, we'll call it like microwave music, really just kind of pumping out industry, boom, 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 you may not be around for long because you kind of get lost in the fades, right? But for her, she's been doing this, and she's still around because she's making real music. She's really got shit to say, and her life's on the big screen. So it was dope. I could do it like the legends, or do it like the Lil Lil's middle child syndrome. I got into rap, kill. I could take a layup, but I'd rather shoot it like Phil Curry. I call that gangster. Be in no hurry. Since I came in the game, last bar is a freestyle. Motherfucker, you ain't know that rap been the golden child. Woof. She just took that, and it's cool how she's acknowledging that she is kind of like a middle child. Kind of like, I guess, maybe the same way J. Cole feels, and she kind of is feeling the same way in terms of that, where she could be one of the legends. She's that good. I've reviewed the album from her. She's got skill. She's very talented. But if she wanted, she could also fuck around and work with the littles and make some pretty hype music as well. I'm not saying her music's not hype, just instead of like the lyrical miracle messaging shit, go fuck around and make a club banger that's super simple, and you know, a simple chorus, a simple hook. Like she has that diversity, which is something that's really cool. Overall, I think that the song itself really does meet the expectations of really proving that they're really good MCs. And I have nothing bad to say about it. Like there's really nothing wrong with this song. It's just a matter of preference. I gave it a 4.2, which is a really great mark. Some people I think would give this song a 5 because I do know that Rapsody has like a good following and like she's really out there. But I think that this is one of those like, it's either hit or miss. You really have to like the whole thing entirely, the whole like record entirely, or maybe just like the lyrics, maybe just like the beat. I don't know. But I did give it a 4.2. I did enjoy it. I really thought it was super cool. And now I feel like I'm getting a little tired because it's starting to become the night shift.
Stuck to the script, I was glued to the grind. If I didn't know shit, bitch, I knew I could rhyme.
So this was a good song. It kind of felt like just but like one of those, and I'm gonna say generic, but I don't want to take away from what he's saying here. But it did feel like one of those songs where it's like, this is my dedication to my rapping. This is what we do. This is how we became successful. You know, we ran the night shift. But he does it really, really well. And I think the way that Murs presents his music with this, like, again, I say disconnected feel to it, it is interesting to see how, like, it plays well with the working and being tired and hard hours and having to keep moving and grinding. So that was super dope. And I also like how he shouts out a bunch of people on the chorus. Like, he really does take the time to acknowledge all the hardworking artists who are on the night shift and really getting that paper, getting that energy done, and getting that work put in. So that was cool. Verse 1, it's kind of starting off with engaged to the stage at an early age, and it was years before I started getting paid for the love of the culture of love. I was killing the stage. I was killing that stage. I was building my buzz. I wasn't making shit that they would feel in the club because I wasn't talking about all the killing and drugs, which is an interesting concept. I mean, it's funny how there's like mainstream rap and then like lyrical rap, right? And the mainstream rap, where it's like guns, killing, drugs, all this stuff, is way more popular just because I believe because the people who listen to it don't actually live that life, so they can live it through the music. And then here's Murs, who is coming in, spitting some real shit. And I think it's because it is real shit. Like I'm not saying that the gang violence and the drug dealing and all that is not real, but the fact of the matter is like, it's not something that makes you think. It's kind of like straightforward, like, fuck with me, I kill you, right? But Murs comes in rocking the stage with some real stuff, and people are a little bit disconnected from it, and I think it's because they haven't had these combos. And I like how he's bringing that up. I like how he's having that acknowledgement of like, people weren't acknowledging me because I was spitting facts, or I was spitting real shit to make you think and really kind of go into your mind. But then he follows up with, I was really thugging. I was sleeping on the floor and shit. I was selling dope just so I could record my shit, turning dirty money into studio time. My family told me I was crazy. I was losing my mind. But I stuck to the script. I was glued to the grind. If I didn't know shit, bitch, I knew I could rhyme. If I didn't know shit, bitch, I knew what could rhyme. That was dope, and I kind of relate to that a little bit. Like, I've never been one who's like really good in school or really been like the smartest kid, but I can definitely rap, and I can definitely put things together, and I can definitely tell you a story over a beat. So yeah, I really related to that, and I really related to Murs in a way where I was like, yo, I get you. Like, I get how you feel in terms of feeling like you may not have anything else, and people are kind of throwing, like, kind of not supporting you or following you when you really feel like, you know, you got this. Like, you really can fucking rap. So I respect him for that, and that was a line that really kind of touched me close to home, so I enjoyed that. And, you know, he just kind of follows through, expressing how, like, just putting in the hard work and really dedicating yourself to what you want to do, and your goal will help you achieve what it is you want to achieve. And that's why I said it was one of those, just like, it was one of your, like, you know, we out here working, put it in the time, light shift, all that stuff. But it was cool. Verse 2, you know, expensive whiskey, chase it with a local beer, a toast to y'all jokes, y'all just smoked in mirrors, we don't rap over our vocals here, y'all people can't do karaoke for your whole career. That was something that was interesting. It appears to be popular, the pantomime poetry just to fill your pockets up probably. Why they ain't invite me to the summer jams, I don't take it personally, fam, I understand. Now that's all I really took from verse 2 because of the fact that it's the realest part. I like how he's calling out people who are lip singing and who are not really practicing to perform their bars live, who need to lip sing and cut it out and, like, you know, have to let the back vocals run half the performance while you're moving around or dancing. I'm not saying I hate it. I enjoy all the artistic performances, however you want to present it or whatnot. I can appreciate it. But I do think there is a uniqueness to being able to not only spit it in a booth, but do the whole song live at that speed, at that pace. I mean, I know this has, like, no absolute fucking connection, right? But I just saw a thing on Facebook where Eminem does supersonic speed Rap God live, and he actually does it, like, no back vocals, no nothing. It's him going at that speed. Now, granted, we all believe him. He did it on the track, but for to have the ability to see that happen live and see the artist really get into their music and really perform it and really just go 100%, I think there's more authenticity there, uniqueness, passion, and maybe a little bit more respect. Just because you're trying to do the whole thing and give us the entire full live performance, not, and I'm not saying people half-ass their shows, just you know what? Let me know in the comments if you think that there is a difference between lip singing and that type of presentation and literally doing the full presentation. Because I feel like there is, and I think it's self-explanatory. Like, you're just putting in more work if you're doing the real presentation, which is kind of what I think he's doing here. Like, you can't play karaoke the entire time. Like, you really need to go out and get your shit and really, do the exercise, get your lungs right, get your breathing right. Like, really go and be that full-fledged artist and stop taking shortcuts, which is what I think is what I'm trying to say. I like how he's expressing, like, the popular poetry. I don't know what the word pantomime means, and I don't want to try to even decide now, but I like how he's expressing, like, it appears to be popular, the pantomime poetry, just to fill your pockets up, probably. I assume he's expressing, like, the type of lyrics that are being used regularly right now to make money, chase clout, and all that stuff, and how, like, that's what people want to hear. So because that's what people want to hear whenever there's, like, a Coachella, a Summer Jam, or stuff like that, nobody's really inviting Murs because he's not that. And he understands. And I like how he's honest about it. I like how he's really just like, yo, dude, I understand. I'm too real for you in a sense. And I think he prides himself on that, which is something I can respect him for. Like I said, he did kind of shout out some names. He shouts out Rapsody working in the night shift. Shouts out Run the Jewels. Shouts out Tech 9. Like, really kind of gives these people the credit that they deserve for doing that work and putting in those hours. So 4.2 on 5. Really, really good song. Moving on. The next song, number 8, is Give Me a Reason.
I need a reason. I didn't want to wake up today.
So, for this track, we have a softer side of Murs. I enjoyed this one. I like how he's kind of opening up and really giving us this personal story aside of him to how he may have fucked up a relationship. So Give Me a Reason is a song about Murs kind of expressing that he acknowledges he made a mistake. It seems like him and his relationship partner are going through some really tough times because he may have fucked up, and now it seems like his partner is kind of like, she kind of seems to need some space and kind of do her own thing. We start off with this refrain. He kind of sets up the mood. I didn't want to wake up today. You ain't returning my calls and it's okay. I know I don't deserve it. You probably want me murdered. Been working on this apology. How should I word it? And that's some honest shit. Honestly, like, when you really fuck up hard in a relationship and you're sorry and that this might be the end of, like, end all, your apology is, there's nothing more than trying to write the perfect apology to get that last chance. I have fucked up many times, so I can attest to that. But I like that type of passion he uses in this song. The way that he just is being kind of vulnerable and just super honest about how he's feeling was something I really enjoyed. In verse 1, at one point he goes, "You say you might need a little more time to let everything settle and to clear your mind. But our stars are aligned, our fates are intertwined. We could weather this storm, you were born to be mine." I like that. I like that type of determination. I like how he's really putting his foot down and like, no, we can get over this. Like, I know we can work it through. But there wasn't really like a clear indication of what happened yet. I feel like this is like an introduction to a story. or maybe there's a story here that I've been missing. I could probably piece it together, but it kind of seems like there is this issue that's happening that he's trying to deal with, but he doesn't want to lose the person he wants to deal it with. You know, like he really kind of wants to sit there and grow from this. It's just something that I can attest, not attest to, I can appreciate, because I think that, again, in a relationship, you should, as much as you fuck up, of course there are consequences and there are X, Y, Z's. But if you truly, truly love somebody or love each other, I mean, you got to work towards that. You got to really put in that effort to make it better, to regain trust, rebuild bridges, and really just set that standard back to normal. The chorus comes in, and it's kind of cheesy. I mean, I need a reason, give me a chance to love you again, a decent lover, but I sucked as a friend. I know I fucked up in the end. I just want a chance to love you again. The only thing I really liked was a decent lover and I sucked as a friend. I like how he's being that brutally honest. The rest was kind of cheesy to me. Just, we get it. You want a second chance. You fucked up. Like, I don't know. It just didn't kind of hit me the right way. But I did like that one line. I did like how he's admitting to being a really bad friend, because I think that's part of, for myself, I think that's part of what happens in relationships, is that you forget that you're friends. You forget the friendship aspect of being able to make jokes and have a good time, and, it becomes a boyfriend-girlfriend thing. And I feel like when you have the title of boyfriend, there's like a certain responsibility, a certain this, a certain like expectation, and the same thing for girlfriend too. Like, I'm not saying that men don't expect things when you're labeled as their girlfriend, but I think you still need to be remind each other, like, y'all are friends. Y'all started off as friends, and there is certain reasons why you guys are friends. And if you lose that aspect, then really it's kind of just feels like expectations. I expect you as my boyfriend to do this. I expect you as my girlfriend to do this. And that's kind of what I'm getting from this song. Again, there wasn't really any direct explanation of what this song was talking about, but it was clear that Murs fucked up and he's trying to, not have his girlfriend, his wife, leave him. I like in verse 2 when he kind of questions the situation, but was it that bad? Are you really that mad? I know how it goes. I expect a little backlash. You say you having flashbacks. And I really like that line out of the rest of the verse, just because these are questions you have to ask. Because I think, like, it's more than just, I'm assuming he cheated. Like, that's what I'm going to think. I'm assuming he cheated. But it's more than that. Like, yes, cheating is a really bad thing, but I think that there's more than just, oh, I'm leaving you because you cheated. Like, you have to have that conversation of, like, why, what happened, what is it, can we get, like, again, can we fix this, can we get through it? So not to incriminate myself or nothing, but, like, I've cheated before. I've done stupid shit. But I've also can see how being in that position is, when it really hits you and you're like, this is over, you kind of sit down. And I've actually asked, like, are you really that mad though? Like, are you really mad that I did this, or are you mad for something else? Or is this like a petty argument? Are you really that mad? Or, like, can we get over this and talk about it? Cause X, Y, Z. Granted, again, I'm not saying that cheating is right. I don't think, cheating is something that should be condoned. I know I've grown from it. I was younger. I was stupid. I know that I've changed from that, but I kind of can see, if that is what the case is, I kind of can see that, there are certain questions you might want to ask. There's certain things you might want to understand. But overall, like, kind of flows through really just reminiscing about the sex he had with his partner and really just enjoying the time and really kind of, I guess, regretting the fact that he fucked up and he might actually lose all this. But this isn't one of those songs that I'm really, really like feeling that much. It wasn't really for me. So 4 on 5. But moving on, Super Cojo Bros featuring Cojo and GQ.
Out of you homophobic bitch niggas, if you legit and you really with the shits, nigga.
So this song is one of my favorite tracks on the album. Overall, it's just one of the hyper songs. It's got this like video game beat to it. It's got this like kind of eerie, gloomy horror type sense to it. It's really, really like it's super good. But the only thing is like it's just a lot of bars. I didn't really feel like there was actually like a narrative to like the story or anything like that. But it's still dope, and I feel like this is another posse cut, another like, you know, Murs has his boys here and they're kind of just getting on and doing what they got to do. But it still flowed nice and really just gave me that energy that I was looking for. So verse 1, Murs comes in like, I look bummy, but I got a couple thousands on me. Buying out Bape in 08 when you was browsing, homie. Drop me in the dirt right now when I got hollows on me. If you think I'm wildin', wait till you see my violent, homie. I'm moving silence, homie. I'm so under, bro. Just got a check of $50K about a month ago. Like, he's still keeping that like boss mentality. He's still keeping like, yo, I'm out here making money. But if you slip, you know, my homie might have to kill you. Like, you know, I'm not one to be fucked with. And he's really keeping that, like, boss street mentality, which I really enjoy. You know, follows through with, so if you ain't from my hood, then shut the fuck up. Hey. I'm with the mob, homie industries. Industry homies be frontin' to keep they job. Homie, I'll slap the shit out of a rapper. That's on God. Homie, talk behind my back, but these people don't want to squab. Now that's something cool too. It's like a lot of people talk shit. A lot of people are like dissing him and, you know, saying shit about him, but they ain't ready to confront him about it. They ain't really to fight if that's what the case is. They ain't really even trying to battle with him. So it's like a lot of just petty bullshit. But that was really what I took from verse 1 from Murs. It kind of just felt like, you know, I'm king shit. I'm out here working, and this is what is really just happening. It kind of just felt like more like free flow consciousness in terms of just like, yo, this is a really dope beat, and let's just spit on it. Now, granted, the lyrics are super dope and the wordplay is super cool, but again, the content itself, it just kind of feels a little bit fluffy to me, a little bit. Verse 2, we've got GQ. Now, I liked a few more things from him. He had a different type of standpoint, I feel. But he goes, see, I done noticed something. Y'all won't give a fuck until I'm rich. That's true. It's funny, though, because then I won't give a fuck if y'all exist. That's super true. And I like that line because it's like, you only get your, like, you know, you don't get noticed, and nobody cares about you unless you're somebody in power or you're somebody that people care about, of course. And I know that whole sentence was stupid, but I don't know how else to say it. It's really true. It's just, see, I done noticed something. Y'all won't give a fuck until I'm rich. And it's true. Nobody's caring for your struggle. Nobody cares for your come up. Nobody cares for what you're trying to do until you out here popping and you're playing that, like, that image or that role of what people want to see. Fancy car, bunch of women, drugs, this, that, next thing. If you're not that, nobody really cares about what you coming up with. It's funny though, because I won't give a fuck if y'all exist. Give a fuck about your followers. Yo, bitch, hear it. Give a fuck about your followers. Yo, bitch, here, that hoe is fine. Fuck about your, that hoe is fine. Fuck about your mediocre album and your clothing line. Mosey on, I'm the one who really put his homies on. Doctors taking blood and shit, they can't describe my chromosomes. I like how he ended the rhyme on chromosomes. That was a really dope way. But I like how he's also defining that he's different than everyone else because he ain't fucking with these fakes. He's not trying to fuck with no hoe because clearly he's just taking other man's hoes. And he's not really giving a fuck about anything because I feel like he's expressing it like nobody really cares about what I'm doing. How the fuck do I care about what you're doing? So that was great. I like when he flows in and he says this. Ever since a kid, I think I showed the way you posed to win. Clown ass Robin from the hood like you been. Costner, like you been Costner. You made a hit or two, they let you go like Reuben Foster. Lot of sauce, I improve your pasta. I don't change, I'm the same like the new Mufasa. You're a joke, poke in front of folk like voodoo doctors. Made my life a show and now you all just Hulu watchers. You ain't got no staff. How you part of C, people start tripping, now they think that they king of R&B. I like that. I like all those bars. Just the way that he's expressing like, yo, I've been telling you what to do. I've been explaining how things go. I've been showing you since day one and nobody's taking me seriously. But I feel like now that he is like making money and is trying to get a little bit higher, I think he's addressing that people might be seeing him differently. And he's kind of like, well, I haven't changed. I'm still the same new Mufasa, which is super dope. Just in relation to like the Lion King movie that came out, and Lion King's one of my favorite movies in terms of Disney. But I also like how he's like, bringing in the Hulu watchers, making the voodoo doctors line. That was super dope. And like just the word plays and just the type of lines we're getting are just really super interesting, and that's what's really keeping me here. And then we've got Cojo, who comes in, and he was cool as well. I found him to be a little interesting in terms of his flow and his voice, but he did a great job and he stand up with the rest of them. He's that 5-foot giant FTP logo tatted on me. Sold a couple units just to keep a couple thousand on me. Want my bottoms baggy just to keep my burner stashed on me. And I'm ready to ride when it's time to make you casualties. Oof. He has a certain way of rocking because he needs to stay protected. He knows that he's comfortable in a certain outfit. Oof, those were just some really hot bars. I really enjoyed that. Because casually, I naturally respected it. I manifested a legend, Messiah brought from the heaven. I'm screaming, fuck all the reverends and the peasants, hustlers, and all the felons. Just the way he says that, like, just the way he's connecting the syllables is just insane. And I was like, whoa, that's really cool. I really liked how he said it. It was a real earworm. I'm David Beckham, I'm kicking shit while all these homies losing. I'll press a homie with the quickness, then it's back to cruising. Don't never try and test my gangsta. Is you people fooling? They call me Bojo from the wood. Homie, they moving funny, he gonna end up losing. Like, he has more of, I feel like, a gangster feel to it instead of not like a rapper feel. I feel like GQ had more of a I'm a rapper body MCer type of vibe, and Cojo has more of like if you cross paths with me, I'll shoot you. That's the type of vibe I got from Cojo, but all of them stand up really well, and this is one of my better songs. I did like the beat. I like the energy carried through it. I like a lot. I mean, I like the whole song in terms of bars. These were just a lot of them that I quoted, but they're really just coming at you with the best that they have to do and really just playing their role in terms of the song. So really, really enjoyed that one as well. I think it really kind of gave a nice break to a lot of like the stories that we've been getting, and there's like the thinking and really trying to just understand. So that was something super cool. And 4.2. And you know what? If I'm wrong, well, fuck them.
Same shit, different day. You try to leave but can't seem to get away.
So track 10 is called Fuck Them. And I mean, the premise of the song is nice, But like, I just feel like this is very vapid and very just like just fluff. The song's not bad. I do want to say it is a great song. I mean, it's a good song actually. The instrumental was made well. I like the female vocal in the background, kind of just going in that like high pitched voice, echoing throughout the track. It was super sweet to hear. But like once I really got through the track, I was just kind of like, I guess I just didn't really care enough. The song itself is basically expressing two different scenarios of the same shit. So verse 1, Murs is expressing how there's this girl who's got a boyfriend who keeps cheating on her, and she decides to stay until she decides to leave. And he says things like, don't let him calm you down. You're supposed to be furious, and it never did sink. He'd slip up and he'd blame it on the drinking. But it would happen every weekend, and you still couldn't leave him. What the fuck was you thinking? You can't change the spots on a cheetah, and you can't change the heart of a cheater. It's a fancy way of using cheat twice. And he ain't never love you either, baby. Don't believe him. Just stop. You should leave him. So, like, I completely understand the sentiment he's trying to get across in regards to like this woman dealing with the situation and, you know, not being able to leave the boyfriend she's with or whatnot. So, like, I get that. But that's just kind of inevitable. Like, at one point, you should just leave. If this person isn't really showing you that they give a fuck about you, then just leave. Granted, I'm a victim of that too. I've stayed with, you know, certain people, certain women who I just thought I could make it work, but clearly it just didn't work. Anyway, then you kind of go into the chorus. You go into the chorus where he's like consoling his female friend, and he's like, come here, I'll hold you, you know, we'll talk about it, we'll get over this, it's okay, like, you deserve better, blah, blah, blah. And then it cuts into an interlude where it's basically just this woman who is just ranting and raving about her toxic relationship and about how she doesn't need him and all this shit. And then kind of follows suit for verse 2, except it's just the male side of things. So in verse 2, he sets up the premise where it's his homeboy who's dealing with a similar situation, and you know, he doesn't really know how to handle it, and the girl keeps tripping out. So, for example, in verse 2, Murs goes, she say that you cheating whenever you ain't together, but when's the last time she caught you cheating? Never. She insecure about everything she do. Her pops was a cheater, so you a cheater too. She liked to yell a lot, going through your cell a lot, post thirst traps. When she mad, she a jealous thought. So essentially, you got the one side where it's like on the girl's side, you've got the boyfriend who's cheating and acting out and doing whatever he wants and playing this manipulative game. And then on the male side, you've got the girlfriend who is just super insecure and doesn't know how to handle emotions and doesn't know how to manage her shit and is freaking out and dealing with her own problems and not being able to accept the fact that her father was a cheater. So that's essentially what the song is. Oh, and then yeah, he, you know, follows suit with the chorus and then an interlude of a dude just basically trashing women and like, you know, fuck these hoes and I don't need them. They're always complaining about something or whatnot. Now, I understand the premise of the song and I understand the concept of this song, but it was just a fluffy track to me. I felt like this could have been so much better in terms of like maybe a legitimate relationship, like an actual story about a guy and a girl feeling certain ways and they're both kind of acting around or whatnot. But this was a clear black and white of one scenario and the other scenario, which I do appreciate. But this isn't something that I'm going to that I'm chasing to listen to, you know, die-heartedly. So not really much else to say. I do, you know, not much else to say. 4 on 5. So moving on. Tony Robbins' Pocketbook.
Spilling Polynesian sauce on my off-whites. Always go with your gut when it's...
So this song really, really has, I think, is like one of the better like barred tracks, because it really has like a lot of just knowledge and just genuine wisdom that I do enjoy. And it was something that it kind of just really stuck out. So I don't like. There's not. So the premise of this song is, I don't really know what the premise is. I don't know what the concept is, but I just know that like he's expressing, just genuine passion and just genuine knowledge. Like I don't actually know how to express it, so I'm just gonna go through the verses. So verse 1, he starts off. He goes at one point. He goes, "What you searching for? Where your focus at? If it's happiness, no one can give you that. It flows from within. It knows all your sins. You can never win being envious of other men." Wisdom. You can't win if you're comparing yourself to everyone else. You got to focus on yourself. You got to develop yourself and make sure that you are moving forward. I like how he's addressing that happiness is something that comes from within, and nobody can give you that happiness. Even if you find a relationship, take drugs, try to escape reality or whatnot, you have to find that happiness within yourself. That was super cool. He says things like, "Wanting what other people have has become a trend, but don't bow down to the dollar bill. Y'all commercial consumers is trying to kill. Y'all, I'm trying to heal y'all and still make a living. Be conscious of what you get in for what you given." So you see, it's a lot of that. It's a lot of just stream of consciousness bars of just things that are like kind of he's been thinking of, and things that he just wants to have a conversation about and just inform people like, look, this is what I kind of see. This is how I see the world's going. This is how I see, people acting, people changing, and let's just take a moment to think about it, which I do appreciate. And this is one of the songs that I really had on repeat for a while, just kind of vibing and just really listening. Now in the first interlude, he goes, "We got to a point now where artists will devalue and what you're spending is time with the artist, and that's the most valuable commodity of all. So what are you getting in exchange of your time? Do you feel encouraged? Do you feel uplifted? Do you feel comforted? Do you feel nourished by the time you're giving to the artist that you've listened to?" And I like that idea. I like that you're not just listening to music to listen to it. You're listening to the music to feel something. I listen to music because a lot of the artists that I like make me feel a certain way, whether I'm angry, whether I'm sad, whether I'm passionate. And it's not just the bars that you're listening to, but you're also getting emotionally invested. You're connected. You give a shit when albums drop. You really build that connection to somebody you've never actually met. And I like how he's expressing that in terms of like, acknowledge what you're really getting from the artist before you go and commit yourself to them. And that was interesting. That was something that really, really stuck out. And it really, I think it's going to change the way I kind of look at, some music a little bit. It really kind of sparks some of my brain cells to really just change and be like, yo, really got to look at the artists that you're giving your time to, because some of them are really trying to change shit and some of them are just making music. So that was something that I really found was really cool. Then he goes into verse 2, and I like when he goes, always go with your gut. When it's not right, let your intuition put you in position, even when you don't say you understand the mission. Competitions for the jocks and the meatheads, not me. I'm just doing it for the street cred, for the heads that love to rock with the real shit. For the heads that love to rock with the real shit. Give me a second here. I apologize. I just lost my spot. Your intuition to position, even when you don't, you say you understand the mission. Competitions for the jocks and the meatheads, not me. I just do it I just do it for the street cred, for the heads that love the rock and the real shit, for the ones who ain't scared to bleed and feel shit. I kill myself right before I hit the bed to sleep, so every day I'm resurrected as a better me. That was dope. That is super, super dope. Like, I can relate to that. I feel like I kill myself every night before I go to bed. And I don't mean like slit my wrist and oh my God, but like that person of who I am today is not going to define me who I am tomorrow. And it's kind of like a snake shedding its skin, just metaphorically, emotionally, like whatever you want to consider it, removing that person from today and just being somebody better tomorrow. Granted, there's probably traits and things that you do that are going to be consistent every day, but always try to be better and different and resurrect as a new you. I really enjoyed that line. And then he kind of follows suit again, more of that positive message, positive attitude, and it was really great. But then on the outro, he goes, people think I started this for money, or think that the kids I put on owe me something, but that's not the case. No one looked out for me when I started out on the West Coast, so I built the platform to elevate those coming from under me, and I never expected anything in return because it was helping heal the hate and the resentment that towards the dudes who never put me on, but I ended up booking them to the younger acts, and it was just good for the culture. It was just good for the culture and good for for his pocketbook as well as for his soul. And I like how he's really expressing that he's doing it for the music. He's doing it for the feeling, the experience, the passion for it, the true love and passion for music. I really enjoyed that. I really, really thought that was something super cool, which is why I really like this song, because you really got to know Murs outside of the persona, outside of the stories that he's telling. It's really just, I'm doing this because I like music and I want to kick back. And that was something very just genuine. Well, I enjoyed that. The song's good. Sonically, overall, it's really nice. Really did think that it had like that nice feel to it. It was a different change up. And left it with a 4.1. And now we come up to the last track on this project. And that is Sin.
Reached the boiling point and brought winter to an end, but when summer comes early, it's a SI.
So this is interesting. This is a very interesting song in regards to the album. This kind of really, I feel like this is where I may have clicked in terms of like a lot of the personal songs are maybe connected, but I may also be wrong. But if we were to jump back to Give Me a Reason, right? And he's expressing how he fucked up and made mistakes and all this stuff. I think here is where we find out that he made mistakes and he fucked up. So on the song Sin, Murs is expressing how he is dealing with situation currently with his wife, and he ends up meeting up with a friend who things seem to pop off in a really nice way, and things kind of take downhill from there. So he's kind of setting up this whole like scenario about like things that are happening, and his friend kind of asks him, what's going on and what's happening. So he doesn't really take it the wrong way, but as he goes, she just asked me about my day. I didn't see the harm in I'm saying in my saying okay. She said just okay. There's gotta be more. Understand at the time me and wifey was at war. So already you kind of get this premise that like he's already dealing with some shit. He's already in a certain vibe, in a certain mood, and he is kind of feeling a little bit vulnerable. We can say that. And then he follows up to explaining how he seems to be having enjoyable moments with her, and they seem to be getting a little bit close and start to kind of maybe fall into the side of cheating and starting to build a connection with this woman. Then we skip over to verse 2. Not that I honestly can't remember if there's a chorus in here. I know that's my apologies. Just give me a second. I'm going to go and just verify that, because I don't think there was a Oh, there was a chorus in here. The chorus is so after the first verse, man, I'm really trash at this today. He sets up the premise in the first verse of where should I begin? I heard somewhere that summer in November is a sin, but that's where I tend to differ. Who doesn't need a little bit of warmth in the winter? And he kind of setting up like this is what's happening in this current month right now, and this is what's happening in his life. And then he follows through with and it was cold as ice. She started as a dim light on my coldest night. She just asked me about my day. I didn't see any harm in saying okay. She said just okay. There's got to be more. Understand me and wife were at war. She opened up the door and I typed a couple paragraphs. The next couple nights we would meet and there share a laugh. So he's expressing. So that's what I was saying. Like he was expressing, having connections and meeting with this woman and having a good time and everything seems to be going legit. So well that the last time we kissed, I could if wifey found out, I knew it would offend her. The last time we kissed, I couldn't even remember. So right now, he's acknowledging that like if his wife finds out he's talking to this girl, it's going to be an issue, but he can't even seem to remember the last time he kissed his wife because he's dealing with whatever issues he's going through. Then we jump into the chorus, which is just acknowledging how a little conversation is a friend to a friend and all these text messages we send, it starts heating up and we couldn't pretend, reaching a boiling point and brought winter to an end. So he's basically saying like it starts off as friends and then if nobody takes that chance to nip it in the butt, so to say, it might exceed and excel quicker and then something else happens. As we move into verse 2, we find out, so we choose a hotel in the middle of nowhere so no one could tell. It was full resort, so we never had to leave. It's sort of like we built a fort where we fucked and we ate and we drank, and we cried and we laughed till our minds went blank. But once we checked out, it was back to reality, except a secret that had eaten my mortality. Bad men eternally, it seemed like an eternity. So clearly he's starting to feel guilty for what he did, and we found out that he fucked, and he's openly admitting that he did these things, and he's really like dealing with that perplexity of like my wife, my life over there, and this woman that I'm having a great time with, and she's really just down to earth, and she's really cool, and you're really starting to get that confusion, that situation that he's dealing with in terms of just meeting people and really trying to make yourself happy. So I do get that. And then part of the second verse is important because he explains that got an email, ever been to Brazil? Here's a link to a villa in Rio where we could chill. It got so real and I was so scared I would risk anything if I choose to met her there. And where was I at home? Jacking off every night, eating dinner all alone. I could sneak away for a weekend, but this was different. A whole nother country and tickets was mad expensive. Tried therapy, but it just wasn't sticking. I still hadn't left her, so I felt sort of conflicted. The good thing, I thought I found the love of my life. The bad part is that the woman wasn't my wife. So you really get the sense that he's having a great time with this person, but he is dealing with the fact that this is now a conflict in his overall life because he's got a wife. And we hit the chorus. And here's where the third verse really kind of hits home, right? So we started planning, financially exchanging numbers. I got a visa and a passport to on the under, so he's trying to make different moves for her and trying to get all this stuff. Ain't had sex since I started seeing Summer. Was she seeing someone else, bruh? I didn't even wonder. So it seems like now there's an issue that is happening in regards to the current girl that he's like sleeping with. They haven't been communicating as much. He's trying to figure out like what's going on. But he also, when he encountered his own wife, she's also kind of feeling like he cheated or dealt with some type like drugs. He mentions cocaine here, but she's feeling away because he's feeling off and he's not really giving off that proper vibe. And there seems to be a little bit of a fight because he goes, the morning of the flight was the day I finally told her I'm leaving for Brazil, and when I get back, it's over. She said back in tears. She held back the tears and just said, I figured what she said next. To this day, I can't forgive her. Didn't matter because I was on a flight to be free. So clearly he's chosen the other girl. He's over with his wife. He doesn't want to be with her. And, he's going to be happy to be with somebody who loved me for me. Went through customs like 1, 2, 3, then hopped into Uber to the Airbnb. She said she'd meet me there, but she was nowhere to be found. And I checked my phone. I almost broke down. So now this is where we get the twist. She said, I have a confession. I'm a mother and a wife. I thought that I could leave them and just start another life. I couldn't break their hearts, so I chose to break yours. I know you're going to hate me, but I hate myself more. Now, that's where I kind of really like this song, because he really took the aspect of cheating and explaining how, he's expressing how he made mistakes, he fucked up, and he has to do what he has to do, to fix it, right? And now he's giving us the story about how he did fuck up and how things, were so good with this woman. But I like how he twisted it and threw in that the woman is doing the same thing as him. She's got a life, she's got a family, and she's dealing with her own issues, that she used him as much as he used her. And I like how he's making that into a personal aspect. That was something that was really, really cool. But the song itself is really good. Like, just the twist at the end and the way that you kind of get all caught up in the lovey-dovey story. And part of me was like, yeah, man, leave your wife. You got this. You happy. And then insta switch kind of gave me that drop in my heart. So really good storytelling. I do appreciate Murs' storytelling 100%. But I think it really ties the album all together in terms of just the confliction and just now, I kind of feel like he's alone now. Like everything, the dreaming, the fantasy is done. Everything's been concluded. He's got nothing left. The wife may have left him. Maybe that's a thing, right? We don't really know if they get back together or not. We don't really know yet. Maybe that's on another album, but he's kind of moving on. And I guess that's how it ties into the title with the Iliad. I can't say that word. And the Odyssey is over. The Iliad and the Odyssey is over. I feel like maybe that's what he's expressing in terms of everything, and the partying is done now. Like everything that has happened, I've lost maybe the best thing of my life, which would have been his wife. And I like how he ties it full circle. I like how he really kind of delve into that. Now, granted, I may not have caught on until the end. I think that I need to really sit on this album, go back and really kind of listen to it again and maybe follow along properly. Maybe there is a story here. But it's a good song overall. It's a really, really good song. I left it with just for my final grade, I left it with a 4.2. And that really does wrap up my solo review of The Iliad is Dead and The Odyssey is Over by Murs, Ninth Wonder, and Soul Council. The overall grading of the album is 4.13 on 5, 4.13 on 5. And I'm just going to talk a little bit about it. I do really enjoy this album. I think that Murs really gave us a lot of his personal experiences on a level where you have to really sit back and really listen to it. You can't just do it one time. You can't do it 3 times. You really got to sit back and really engulf yourself into the project. Like I said, I don't know if there is a story or not to this. I don't know if this is just bits and pieces of a thing, but I'm really interested to see what Murs does next. So far, everything that Murs has been putting out, I'm really liking. He's got this way of rapping and just kind of going through with the words and the rhymes that really makes me hype. And it's like, wow, dude, I never knew you were this good. Ninth Wonder's production is great. Soul Council's production is great. I really enjoy just the way that they put the project together. I know that in the beginning, on the first part, I didn't talk about the album cover, so I'm going to do it now. I know it's at the end, but I still got to do it. It's not that iconic, I'm not going to lie to you. It's kind of like a cartoon, chalky, chopped up version of Murs, kind of looking really faded out, kind of zoned, maybe geeked off some bars. I don't really know. There's two like balloons, and it says the Iliad is dead, the Odyssey is over, Murs in the middle. There's a little balloon animal that's floating, but it kind of just has this like gloomy walk of shame type of look, like he's walking home or like trying to find himself or some sort of niche. So it's cool. The coloring's cool. The album's great. I think that everybody should take a moment, listen to the album, hit up the comment section. Let me know what you think of the review as well as what you think of the album. And let me know if I missed anything. Let me know if I misinterpreted, explained something wrong. I'm really excited to hear what you guys have to say, what you guys have to think about this project. I mean, I don't really have much to say. It kind of feels like a straightforward album. It kind of feels like what you're going into, and every song that he's giving you is exactly what he wants to give you, and that's pretty much it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for sticking with me. It's been 2 hours over here, a little bit more than that. We appreciate everything you guys do for us. Honestly, the comments, the views, the sticking with us, the supporting us, we really appreciate it. We're trying new things. We're trying to get more things out. We're trying to just expand. If you have any, tips, suggestions, let us know. We're always looking to grow and adapt. I do want to take a moment and thank you for the Patreons. Again, Lindell Williams, DJ Black Hurricane, Chris Prado, Ismail Gadamsi, Jonathan Barnes, and Coney Sparks. Thank you so much for everything you guys do for us. Really and truly, they helped us get a new camera and whatever other stuff we get for the studio, they help us get too. They support us on Patreon. You can check us out there. In terms of being on the Patreon page and signing up monthly and paying a monthly subscription, you do get to force our hands in whatever albums you want us to review, whether it's for Rock and Beer's Classic Quest. If you're ahead of the game for Headspace, let us know. You can also pick any other show, First Four or More, if you want to watch us review TV shows, have a conversation, a critical look. We're also starting to do a lot more reaction videos, trying to get those on the way. So there's a lot popping. But again, thank you guys so much for that. Truly, the Patreons, thank you, means a lot to us. Like I said, this is the Headspace podcast. It's been a really kind of loopy day for me. It's the weather and just I haven't slept enough last night. So I'm sorry if this review was a little bit all over the place or maybe a little bit rushed. But definitely next week we got a great show for you. Gonna be amazing. I'm gonna come back well rested. I think Holden's coming back next week as well. And we'll be on our ball. So check us out for that, and hit that subscribe button, hit the bell if you want. I don't really know how to do this. I don't think I should be bothering you guys to do that. If you like what we do, please support us. If you don't, please let us know why, so maybe we can try to convince you and do something that you will support. In any case, all comments down below. We will try to chit chat as much as possible. Hit me up on over there. Yeah, hit me up right here. There we go. Hit me up on Twitter, please. I like talking. I like having conversations. So just right there, Chris Chrome 93. Chit chat. We'll have a good time. And I'm done. Have a great one. Peace.